Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Hammer Podcast. Today is, let me go and get all my stuff together here. Today is Monday, March 24th, 2025. Hopefully that's correct. I believe it is. And today we are doing open lines on Monday. If you would like to get on the podcast today, all you got to do, I'm going to put it right here. Text, do not call. That number, 920-777-1697. Give me the name and the subject, and I will send you the link. All right. So let me go ahead. While I got everybody here, I'm going to go ahead and copy that link. So I'll be waiting for everybody's text. So let me go to remove that there. Let me go ahead. I put stuff in the comment section here. That way everybody. There we go. All right. Okay. All righty, everybody. Let me go ahead and let you know what I've been looking at. Being a child of the 70s and the 80s, seeing a lot of weird stuff was, I don't know, really wasn't a lot there. But now, what people are doing, what people are putting on TikTok and X and Facebook, and I mean, just some of them doing stuff that's it can help you by showing you how to do things, how to build things, or whatever. Then you have people that get on and just constantly whine and complain and all that stuff. And then you have people who show you what they've done to themselves as far as body modifications. And I remember body modifications back in the day. You had the occasional tongue ring that people freaked out about. You had the tattoos. Really wasn't a lot of nose rings back then. Earrings, of course. But some of the stuff that I got 4 examples for you. But some of the stuff that I've been seeing is like, man, what is going on in your head? You know what I mean? What is going on in your mind? Why would you do this to yourself? Okay, well, let me show you one here. And I'm sure to all the guys that are out there and appreciate good looking women, which, every guy does. I came across this little gem. She's showing off her tattoos and her piercings and her split tongue. Let me go ahead and show you. Now, everybody, let me tell you something. That right there is not gorgeous or sexy or anything like that. That is downright gross. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it. It's gross. But why would you do that to yourself? Can you imagine what the nursing homes in the next 50 or 60 years are going to look like? You got people doing this stuff to themselves. It's ridiculous. All right. So before I go back on, let everybody know it is open lines. Text 920-777-1697. Give me your name and subject. I will send you the link. I'm going to go through these 4. I'm going to wait a little bit. If nobody shows up, well, we're going to go ahead and end the show because it's open lines. All right. Okay. So, let me take that off here. Here's another Emmy Award winner that I saw. This person, I don't know if it's a man or a woman. I mean, When did tattooing the whites of your eyes, when did that become something? Um, as far as body modification, of course, you got the tattoos, you got the little ring on the lip. Um, you got the inserts, I guess the plastic inserts they put in there. It looks like little horns. Why? What could you possibly get out of this? Is gonna what person is gonna look at you and go, wow, that is an upstanding citizen, law abiding, somebody who's really not screwed too much up in the head. You know what I mean? But okay, well, whatever. You know, strange, strange to me. And being a person who has absolutely no tattoos on his body because I never really thought about getting one because I know that once you get a tattoo on your body, it's there for life, unless you want to try and get it removed, which is pretty painful. But I just haven't found anything that I like. I mean, maybe one of these days when I find something that I like, then maybe I'll get one. But I don't have any at the moment. All right, let me bring this back up again. If you would like to be on the podcast right now, text 920-777-1697. You talk about whatever you want to talk about. This is what open lines, okay? That's why I'm talking about this. This is something that I found out last week. I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to show the people on there. So, yeah, text me, name, subject, and I will send you the link. All right, it's all open right now. Now, this next person, um, he's, I believe it's a guy. He's eating oranges. Okay. Oh, let me just show you. Okay, this is oh, like I said, wait about 50 or 60 years from now. Thank goodness, hopefully we won't be here when these people are at the nursing homes. Look at it. Look, only one ear is stretched, the other one isn't. He's got holes all over the place. He's got inserts on the top, his horns. He's got holes in his nose. He's got that ring in between his nose. How can you look in the mirror and go, wow, that's what I want to look like? I don't know. I guess everybody's different, I guess. I don't know. But whatever. Whatever. It's like a lot of people nowadays just don't seem to think. Some people are impulsive. Some people just go up and say, "Hey, I want to go get this," and they get it, and then before you know it, they're either regret their decision or it's like, oh man, maybe I should change it or whatever. Before you know, they're not happy with it, and like I said, that's why I never got a tattoo because it not something that interests me. Up here where I'm at, a lot of people like to go snowboarding. A lot of people like to go skiing. A lot of people like to go hunting. Doesn't interest me at all. Why spend the money on four-wheelers and boats and stuff like that? I mean, I'll go fishing. You know what I mean? If somebody wants to take me fishing or whatever, invites me to go fishing with them, I'll fish with them, but not hunting or anything like that. It's just not interested. All right. So, like I said, it is open lines. Text 920-777-1697. Name and subject. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. Doesn't matter to me. And we'll get you on. I got the link all copied, ready to go. So whoever wants to come on, come on. All right. I got one more for you. And we're going to wait a few more minutes. And if nobody wants to come on, we'll just end the podcast. All right. It'll be a really short open lines this time. All right. Now, this one here, let me preface this a little bit. You have some people that do stuff like you got a lot of these Hollywood celebrities that let me put this back on here while I'm talking. I have a lot of celebrities that like to go and they like to, get their body modified, get the lip injections and all that stuff. And some of them actually look fine. I wouldn't say they look better. I think the natural look is a lot better than going to the surgeon and getting it done like that. But there's some people that take it way too far. And the thing is, they take it way too far, but they still think they look good. It just makes no, I mean, and people just, you look at it and they gasp, say, well, what the hell's she thinking? Or what the hell's he thinking? Who knows what they're thinking? You know, who knows? Who knows what's going on in their minds? All right. All right, here we go. Here's the last one. So what the hell is this? All right, here we go. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, look at that. Is this something that you want to do to yourself? You know, would you be able to look in the mirror every day and go, wow, I look sexy? I mean, unless you're a person who doesn't care about looks and looks at that and goes, yeah, I'll throw one in her or something like that. But all right, we got one person coming on. Hold on 1 second here. Let's see, where's she at? Ah, there you are. All right, there we go. It's all sent. Like everybody, please subscribe to the channel. If you like the Open Lines podcast, Open Lines on this podcast, I should say, then please subscribe and like the videos and comment and do all that stuff. All right. So let me keep this going here. Oh, God. Look at the side. Look at the side. And you know what? I mean, come on. Don't get me wrong. I got a little bit of double chins going on right here right now. But just look at that line. Oh, no. 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 Oh. Come on, everybody. Tell me. Do you think that looks hot or not? Hello, Esther.
Hi.
How's it going?
Who's that pink lady on the screen?
Oh, I'm just showing a lot of people with body modifications.
She's very beautiful.
You think so?
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
Well, in her own unique way, kind
of. One word, Esther. No.
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 I mean, not. You don't want to look like that?
No.
Okay.
No. Would you?
Well, it would be an interesting experience.
You'd be able to look in the mirror every day and look at yourself and go, yes, I'm hot and sexy.
I don't feel that way anyhow, so it's okay.
Okay, well, what about that one there?
Oh, he's way cool. That's actually a fairly good video of you.
That's
you look your best self there, I think.
Oh,
I'm down with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll turn myself into this. Okay. If you turn yourself into that, what do you say?
Well, that is actually not a bad picture of me. I mean, I sat for quite a bit of time for that photo shoot, and it actually didn't come out too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did the green food coloring in the whites of your eyes come out okay?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well. So anyway, how you been?
Okay, I guess. How about you?
Yeah, I've been doing all right. Been doing all right. So you texted me true crime and fast food.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's up with the fast food?
I think that there are a lot of fast food chains that are underrated. Like, for example, Chick-fil-A. Now, I know they are closed on Sunday in an attempt to try to kind of make public perception of them be that they're caring, and give it a bit of a religious flavor, and also make it inaccessible to drive up the demand. But actually, they do have good waffle fries. The waffle fries are actually not bad. I like the waffle fries.
Well, Chick-fil-A used to be good
Yeah.
back in the day, but
Hmm.
I think they've changed the formula because it doesn't taste the same.
Yeah. What do you think they've made different?
The chicken. I don't know
Hmm.
if it's the batter or what. It's like the McRib. Remember the
Yeah.
McRib back when it first came out?
Uh-huh.
It tasted awesome. It was
Yeah.
delicious.
Yeah.
When it came out a couple years ago, again, the return of the McRib,
Yeah.
I went and got one,
Uh-huh.
and it was like chewing cardboard. It had no flavor to it at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was gross. They're changing it, and I don't. Well, it's been probably 2.5 years since I ever went to McDonald's, but
No, it's a long time to go
oh
without
yeah,
McDonald's.
yeah, yeah. After having that experience, but I do like their fries. McDonald's
Yeah.
does have some
Yeah.
really good fries
Yeah. And
and
they have, yeah, the fish sandwich.
milkshakes.
Yeah.
Yes, the fish fillet is
Mhm.
good.
Yeah. And
Um,
also their sundaes have a unique flavor. They kind of taste like frozen yogurt.
and their shakes aren't too bad when the shake machine is working.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What else? You haven't heard of Whataburger, so I'm not gonna worry about that. Um, Burger King.
Yeah.
You eat at Burger King?
Yeah. They have good hash browns. They also have a really good original chicken sandwich.
Oh, are you talking about their breakfast menu?
Yeah.
I've never had their breakfast menu.
They have good hash browns.
Do they?
Hmm.
I'll take
Yeah.
your word for it. I've never tasted it. I know they have. I whenever I go there, I have the Whopper Junior because the big Whopper is just
Oh,
way,
like
way too much.
last time I went to Burger King, I kind of embarrassed myself. I asked for a quarter pounder with cheese, and the guy just looked at me weird, like, what? And it took me a couple seconds to realize what I did. And I was like, no, no, I meant Whopper Jr. with cheese.
Yeah, you're in Burger King, not McDonald's.
Yeah, I know, I know, I know. I've also asked for chicken McNuggets at Burger King and at Wendy's.
Well, I think you can get away with saying McNuggets at a Burger King. I think. I mean, why not? They're
Yeah, I
like if you
guess.
say it really fast, give us some nuggets, please.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
yeah, sure. How many?
yeah, yeah.
But their fries not as good.
No, no.
I like the fries that are like real thin
Hmm.
and they're not cooked, cooked to shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're really brittle and hard. I
Hmm.
like them where like a little. They're like. Oh my God, what am I saying here? Let me say it to where people don't get the wrong idea. I like the fries like semi-flaccid. You know what I mean? Not
Oh
hard,
my
but
God,
semi-flaccid.
Jason,
See,
no,
see, you always
no,
get the wrong idea.
no, no.
I like them not overcooked. How about that?
I,
Not
I don't,
overcooked,
yeah, okay,
just
yeah,
cooked a little bit where they're
yeah,
not, you know, yeah, burnt. How about that? Is that
okay,
better?
okay,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. All right. So, oh, come on, Esther. Live a little bit.
I, you know, I, I was actually, I'll tell you this, and I know this is going live on the air, so this is like a big humiliation in my life. I was fired after 5 days working at Dunkin' Donuts. I Because I kept messing up the drink combinations, and I put a whipped cream can back in the freezer when it was empty, and the
Uh-huh.
manager just totally and completely flipped her lid with me and called me into the back room and fired my butt.
When
It
was
was,
that?
yeah, it's a humiliating defeat.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm
But I
sorry
do
to hear
have to
that.
say, yeah, I know. Dunkin' Donuts is actually good because they have the milk substitute. So it's like the perfect place for people who are lactose intolerant.
You know what's really bad about Dunkin' Donuts?
What?
Their coffee.
You don't like Dunkin' Donuts coffee?
Oh, it's one of the worst coffees I've ever tasted.
You have to get it with the mocha swirl, mocha pump.
The Dunkin' Donuts, and then second is Starbucks.
Ooh, you don't like Starbucks?
No.
Oh,
Two reasons. It's bitter and it's too expensive.
you have to get the pistachio latte.
I'm not a big pistachio fan.
Do you ever get brain freezes? I get the most excruciating brain freezes
I
where
used to.
I'm in agony, where it's like I'm like trying to like I'll have to actually get up and start walking around to try to deal with the pain. But somehow I still drink the frappuccinos too fast. Like I never learned my lesson.
Frappuccino. Oh, isn't that from McDonald's? Frappuccinos?
They have those at Starbucks.
Oh. Oh. I, I don't know. Just give me a 12-cup coffee pot at home with Folgers, coffee grounds, and 3 scoops for 12 cups. Nice and light, not too heavy,
Yeah.
and I'm a happy guy.
That's good. It's good to be able to enjoy the simple things in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every once in a while I'll open up that seal, on the Folgers and just put my nose in it, sniff the coffee.
Do you
Yeah.
like do you like tea?
Any what?
Any of the teas? Like
Well, I like the
green tea?
Earl Grey tea.
Earl Grey tea.
Yeah. I've tasted green tea. I think you got to prepare it a certain way though,
Mhm.
because I don't know, maybe the person that prepared it for me didn't prepare it right, but it tasted like water with a little
Yeah.
tiny bit of
No, that's the
mint.
problem with the whoever it was who made the tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With coffee, I like coffee light. Teas, I like the teas a little bit stronger, so you can taste it.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can't make the teas too weak because then
No.
you might as well just be drinking hot water, basically.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Like, yeah.
you know,
Yeah. What I
well,
do is I add creamer to it.
oh, I don't. My coffee, I drink my coffee black.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I don't like Dunkin' Donuts, because when I ordered black coffee, it was oof.
What kind of donut do you like?
Just your regular donut with the glaze on it. Just your
Oh, the
run of the
frosting?
yeah, just your little nothing, not too heavy on the icing. I don't like
Okay.
the bear's claws are too big.
Okay.
But just your regular donut. Your normal style of donut.
Mm-hmm.
So give me a dozen of those.
A dozen. You can eat the whole dozen all by
No,
yourself?
no, no, no. I usually like maybe 2 or 3. Then I'm done.
You got to learn to live a little.
Oh
You
God,
got to just
my dentist told me no.
no.
Can't be eating all that sugar. You're gonna have no teeth by the time you're 60. Like,
Okay.
yeah, I want to die with all my teeth.
No.
And
Yeah.
I tell them to text, not call, and they call me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know why they do that. I don't know who that was. But here we go. Let me go ahead and send them a link. Maybe that's what they wanted. There we go.
So I've got a little competition going on here.
Go ahead. What's your competition?
Did somebody call?
Yeah, they called, but I put on here distinctly right there, if you can see it, where it says right on the top near number 1, it says text, don't call. You know what I mean? But they still call. So I don't know what to do. So when they do, because I tell them, if you call, I just hang up. That's
No,
it.
you can't do that.
Yeah. This line is for this. You text me, tell me the name. It's right there in yellow. Name and subject. I will send a link. It doesn't say call me at this number. It says text. Don't call. Maybe I should make it bigger so people can, actually read it. Or maybe I should put it in Chinese or something like that. Maybe they'll read it then.
Can you speak any language other than English?
Nope. English
No?
is my primary language.
Okay.
What about you?
No, I don't think so.
No? Just English, huh?
Yeah. Sometimes I can speak just habla español.
Well,
Poquito.
habla español. I only know the Spanish words from Mexican movies and, a lot of the bad words. But
Okay.
other
That's
than
all you
that,
need to know. You don't need to know anything else.
that's true. That's true. So, Esther, what did you have on true crime?
Well, the Menendez brothers might be getting out pretty soon. A lot of
Oh,
people are really excited about that. They have a lot of fans out there who are like really kind of making a big deal out of it. And they're putting up TikTok videos of them and are kind of like holding their breath, waiting for the big day where they get to get out and go to McDonald's. But
the
we
big
don't know. Yeah, we don't know where they'll go first. Could be Starbucks, could be IHOP. One time I was drinking a hot cocoa at IHOP and
Uh-huh.
I thought I had some weird piece of plastic in my mouth and I pulled it out and it was a fly. It was a dead fly. And yeah, could you believe that?
I can believe it.
Yeah.
But is this pretty credible evidence, or is it hearsay, or what? Is the judge say anything, or?
No, the judge hasn't said anything, but they're going to find out whether or not they can get a parole date.
Oh, so it's not a for certain thing.
No, I mean, they kind of act like it is. The people who are supporting them are kind of acting like, oh, they're getting out, but we really don't know. It would be up to the parole board. And they do have they have not, well, the younger of the two has not behaved perfectly in prison.
Oh, he hasn't.
No, he's done some things in the visiting room with his wife that are like not rated PG. And they're not supposed to do that.
Oh, that's too bad. Did they videotape it?
Yeah, actually they did. There are cameras there. So he can't say he didn't do it.
All right. We have Barbara on there. Hey, Barbara, how you doing?
Okay. Can you hear me? Did I finally?
What's going on?
Okay. How's you guys?
Doing pretty good.
Did you go to one of those creepy boarding schools?
I went to Rebecca Home for Girls. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, you're okay.
All right. Yeah, I went to Rebecca with Lester Roloff, 1976 to 1979.
There you go.
Yeah, and before that, I went to Geneva, Illinois, residential school, Illinois training school in the early 70s.
Oh, that's right. You're in that area, in the Illinois area.
Yeah, I went there for being a habitual runaway because, I would run away from my abusers. And I ended up there.
Oh, you weren't you weren't into drugs and rock and roll and an addict or prostitution or anything like that?
Jason. I was 12 years old. I didn't even have a chance to get into drugs and rock and roll yet.
I know. But like I said, that's how every time I heard him say something about the girls, it was always they were, I had to save them from the clutches of the devil,
Yeah.
from drugs and prostitution and all this other stuff. I'm like, a lot of them were not that. They just ran away or they talked back to their parent. But like I was telling the
jeans,
girls,
a lot wore jeans.
right? Well, yeah, that was a sin. Wearing
Yeah.
jeans. Only the men could wear jeans. The women had to
Yeah.
wear dresses. Dress like a lady. That's what Lester Roloff always said.
Yeah. He didn't.
But,
Now he missed to forget that he forgot to say, "Oh, I'm saving them from their abusers." Oh no, it was never the abuser's fault. It was always the girl's fault. Always the child's fault.
Sure. Yeah. You all were defeated.
Do you remember the time Sinead O'Connor ripped up the picture of the Pope on Saturday Night Live?
Sinead O'Connor was in the Magdalene Laundries.
Yeah,
you know what the Magdalene Laundries are?
She was sent to go, and they put her in the room with the old ladies that were dying.
Yeah, she tried to tell a long time ago what was happening, and the Magdalene Laundries didn't even shut down to 1998. That ain't that long ago. They were taking women for taking women, for the clutches of sin, for lust, and because making them men lust. Let's lock the woman up and make them women and children, they suffer brutally. They found 800 babies in the septic tank in one of them.
In a septic tank?
Yes. When they sold the property, and when they dug it up, they found 800 baby remains in the Magdalene Laundries.
And nobody was prosecuted.
No. It's done by the church. The church, good old, the white man's God, I call it.
The white man's God. Can you imagine, Barbara, what might have happened to the People's Baptist Church if Lester Roloff had not died in that plane crash?
Oh my God! If we wouldn't have been ruled a cult, then we'll have been ruled a cult soon.
Well,
they had to see that was a cult. You know.
Yeah. See, 14. He was 68 when he died, 1982.
Yeah.
I believe he was born in 1914.
Yeah, something like that, or 1917, somewhere in there. Yeah.
He was 68 when he died, and let's say him being, the epitome of health, as he always said, eating right and exercising. Let's say he lived to the age of 92. Wow.
Well, Justin, here that eating healthy or being vampires, one of the two, because they lived forever. I mean, look at the Weatherfords; they're still alive.
Are they really?
Yes, I swear to God, they are. And Aunt Nanner, she just passed. What was it, 2 years ago? At 99. I mean, Miss Yogurt. How old was Miss Yogurt? She had to be up there in her 90s. I mean,
oh yeah.
Yeah, they all lived in their late 90s. I mean, there had to be something.
When I saw her, she was walking with a cane. So, I mean, this was 1981. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
right.
Yeah, she was old.
I mean, they seemed to live forever. And look, when he died, look how fat they all got. I mean, look you see them, everybody nice and skinny. Boy, afterwards they went. Whoop.
Oh yeah,
they were eating a lot of Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. Well, when I had that podcast with Donna, she was saying that a lot of the staff that worked there weren't making ends meet with the pay that they were giving them.
No.
So they
didn't get paid, did they? Even some of them didn't even get paid. They were like donated time. They got a place to live.
So they had to go into town, into Corpus, and get a job there to make ends meet. Maybe they gave them a trailer to live in, but the pay wasn't good.
It was not very nice trailers. I mean, they were old trailers from like the 50s and 60s.
and a lot of
And the heat of
well, a lot of them were, doing drugs and drinking. Wiley Cameron's son was an alcoholic,
yeah.
from what I've
Oh,
heard, allegedly. Everything that Lester Roloff said was a sin, his staff was doing. I mean, behind closed doors, of course,
Yeah. I don't even know if it was really behind closed doors sometimes, because you had to see what was going on. That's why people say, well, Lester Roloff ain't the one that abused you. It was the people that he hired. That ain't no satisfaction for me. Yeah. To me, he knew what was going on because it was Lester Roloff who beat Angie herself, So you
Really?
can't. Yeah, it's in the court papers. He said he gave her a good thrashing. What do you think a thrashing is?
A beating?
Yeah. And she was in lockup so long, we smelled her out in the hallways. I mean, but then her and Lester Roloff became best friends too. We'll be in school and they'll be out there playing tennis, basketball, riding bikes. We'll be looking out the window, I'm like,
what do they call that? Stockholm syndrome?
Yeah. That's a real thing. I really believe in Stockholm syndrome because of myself. Because for a long time, I couldn't even watch a video or nothing. When Lester Roloff cried, I cried.
Yeah.
When he hurt, I hurt. Because I really thought that man tried to save me.
Yeah.
At one point in my life, I really thought that he cared enough that he reached out to try to help us.
What do you think, Esther? You believe in Stockholm syndrome?
Well, I don't believe in Lester Roloff.
I'm talking about where
now
the abused begin to have feelings for the abuser.
I think it's fake because when you talk to them afterward, they say they were just faking it so that the person that was persecuting them would not kill them or would leave them alone.
Survival. I feel that's survival techniques there. The Stockholm syndrome is when I feel like, like I said, I'll use me for an example, where I really believe that Mr. Roloff, I walked with him. We got in the airplane and the Liberty Bell, and we flew to the canal. We got to go swimming. I couldn't swim. My wrists were cut. And he took off his shoes and walked in the sand, and we got to roll off my skirt, of course. But I got to go barefooted. And he took off his shoes and went barefoot. And we was walking on the edge of the, in the water talking. And he would have tears rolling down his ass. This is this is kids like you I'm trying to save. Woo, 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 woo. And, he convinced me that he really cared and tried to save us. And I believed that for a very long time.
So did Jim Jones.
Yeah. So did Jim Jones. And I did. A lot of people don't realize, Jim Jones had 800 foster kids given to him. A lot of them kids that died it was Jim Jones were foster children.
Yeah.
A lot of even us, I was a foster kid. A lot of us were given to Lester Roloff. What was it? The Punk Squad was Sangnon cult. I mean, they gave us to these people. The judges and the court system gave us to these people, knowing they were evil people, that we were going to get hurt. So when is the court going to be held responsible for what they done to us?
Well, Lester Roloff was a hell of a salesman.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, and I'll tell you right now, I don't know if this story is true, but I was listening to one of his sermons probably about a year ago. He's got that rolloff.org thing where he's got his family altar playing 24 hours a day. And he's talking about how this one kid, the judge actually brought this kid to Lester Roloff's house and said that this kid doesn't need to be in jail. He was I think he was 14 or something like that. He murdered somebody, but he didn't need to be in jail. Can you help him? And of course, Lester Roloff said he was going to help him. And the kid got saved, and now he wants to be a preacher. I'm like, oh, no. I don't care what kind of judge you are. If a 14, 15-year-old kid is in there for murder, you're not going to take him to a pastor and say, help him. He's going straight to prison.
Right.
But
Texas had their own little laws back then, though.
that's the
I
thing
mean,
is, that was the whole image of him, though. I can help
right,
save these kids, no matter what they've done, whether they attempted to murder or they're drug addicts or whatever. I can save them 100%.
right.
All they
But
need
he
is the
forgot that
Bible.
he was talking about beating us into submission. The saving wasn't with the word of God, the Bible. It was with boards and sticks and what I can't say belts because I've never seen a belt.
Well,
I've seen a whip,
they're
but
not
not a
going to give
belt.
away all their secrets. They got to tantalize you a little bit with
I
half
don't feel
truths.
too good, guys. I got a migraine. That's why I'm kind of laying down.
With half truths and all that kind of stuff.
Right, the half truths. And then you want to tell people the real truth and they don't want to believe you. Then you're a bad kid, a liar, an attention seeker,
Yeah.
And
So,
I've been telling
Barbara,
now.
have you been following up on this Menendez brothers thing?
A little bit. Where are they at now? Jason, I've seen that you did a thing on them.
Esther, you want to tell her?
They're still in prison. They're
Yeah, I
serving
know
life
that.
without parole.
Yeah, we know there's something about they still have to go back to court, but they might or might not get parole. Nobody knows.
Yeah. Oh, they haven't really. I thought they said they wasn't getting parole.
They might.
They might.
But they haven't really been behaving.
I think they should be set free.
I think they've done their time.
I do too. I think just like Chris Bennett. I think Chris Bennett should be set free. Chris Bennett case. You don't know the Chris Bennett case?
No.
I never got you with Livy. Chris Bennett was the way I found. I've been working with this family 7-8 years now. I thought one time I had him the governor. I didn't talk to the governor's office. I thought sure I had him out, but I didn't. It didn't go a couple of years ago. He was 18 years old. I came across his story on Facebook. It was a handwritten story, 3-page story. He was 18 years old. His mother got remarried as a child when he was a child. The guy she married abused him physically and sexually. Abused his little sisters physically and sexually. He went in at 18 to get some money one night, and he opened up he said he seen the bathroom light going through the door of the bedroom, and the stepfather was on top of his little 6-year-old sister in the act. Next thing he remembers is coming to with a shotgun in his hand. So he took the stepfather's life. At 18 years old, now the people don't understand the background. 20 times CPS was called to this house. 20 times by school bus drivers, teachers, law enforcement. These children were left behind 20 times. Well, he got scared, grabbed a checkbook, and he ran for 2 days. He wrote 2 checks, couple, 130 more, get food or whatever. He was scared and then turned himself in. They sentenced him to 1,800 years in prison. 1,800 years at the age of 18. No trial. Did not let the sexual abuse be entered into the case. Didn't let the mental health evaluation enter into the case. They gave him a choice at 18 years old, 1,800 years or death. He's been in prison 23 years now.
Well, I mean, if what you're saying is true, he doesn't deserve jail time. You know what he deserves?
Right.
He deserves a key to the city.
Yeah.
He deserves a medal for that one.
Yes, it's all true. It's a big case. You can go on Facebook. They got free Christopher Bennett page on Facebook.
Is he appealing?
Has
he appealed?
He's lost all 3 appeals because they're a very poor family and wording wasn't written right in an appeal. See, you only get 3 chances and then you're screwed. Then you got to go to a governor's pardon. The governor pardon has been denied and denied and denied. The last Democrat governor, that was in it, but like 2 years ago. Now it's a Republican governor. But
what state is this?
West Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Or Virginia, West Virginia, one of them. Yeah. But yeah,
have you heard of that case, Esther?
No.
No. A true crime expert, and you haven't heard of that?
Oh, you're a true crime expert?
Oh yeah, she loves true crime.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's called the Chris Bennett case. Free
Chris Bennett
Christopher
case.
Bennett.
Have to
Yeah.
look into
On my
that.
TikTok, I even, he was, matter of fact, they got on the Dr. Phil show. And I'm friends with the mother. I mean, I became friends with the mother and the daughter because when I read it, Jason, it was so much like my story as a kid. I mean, I related so much of, the running away, the hiding from the abusers. You know what I mean? And to
Yeah.
me, he was triggered. He blacked out. He came into where his own abuser was abusing his little sister. And I felt he was triggered. He blacked out. He don't remember what happened, until he came to. And I feel there should be a new case, a new hearing for a new evidence because the sisters were too little back then. They're grown now. Bring them, let them testify. They found pictures of the little girls on a computer on a for sale site where he was selling the little girls at that time. Found the evidence. They got all this evidence, but still they won't give him a new trial. And I'm thinking, I don't get it. All because they claim it's a home invasion, and because he took the checkbook and ran, and wrote a couple of checks.
So they calling it like a robbery, a home invasion or something?
Yeah. They're not telling the whole story about what happened.
Right.
Even though the story's out there now, it's been out for the last 10 years, what happened. Because when the little girl that was getting hurt that night, she got up, she started because she didn't, her name was Vicky. I think Vicky lived with a lot of guilt, that her brother was locked up in prison because she, blames it on her. And the Dr. Phil show, and when Libby called, I'm like, now, Dr. Phil, I don't got nothing nice to say about him. Whatever you do, you be careful. But you play Dr. Phil. Don't let Dr. Phil play you. So you go on there and could get Chris's story out there. Because they promised her a lawyer, which they brought a lawyer on. The lawyer was going to help Chris get out. After the show, the lawyer didn't contact him. Dr. Phil didn't contact him.
But isn't Dr. Phil the one who keeps sending the kids to those programs?
Yes. Dr. Phil owns stock in Aspen, and Aspen owns stock in these programs. So he owns stock in children. That's how I look at it. A lot of people do. Mike Pence, he owns stock in children. Betty DeVos, he owns. They all own programs.
I do have to say though that Mike Pence is a complete piece of shit.
Yeah, and he sends kids to the Dominican Republic, to a rural country, even American children.
Never liked the guy.
There
was just something about him.
Yeah,
you could just tell just by looking at somebody.
He looked, yeah.
Sometimes you're just like, nope.
Crosswinds too, and he was sued for juvenile detention laws he broke in Indiana. Mike Pence owns stock in children. Betty DeVos.
The thing is, Barbara, trying to close down all these places. It's like, plugging like the kid that stuck his finger in the dike. You put your finger in one, another one comes out. You try and plug that one, another hole comes in. Like, it's like, are they ever going to be able to get rid of them? They're not. They just keep popping up all over the place.
And especially with it.
Simply get people to stop sending their kids to them. There, problem solved.
Oh, is there something? How about you parents raise your children?
Yeah.
That's what I say. You want to blame these children? You parents, do your job. Raise your children. My children gave me grief. I don't want to say the word on. I don't want to cuss you on. Get your banned, Jason. But they gave me some grief, my teenage girls. Stole my car a couple times and everything else. Chasing them boys. But I never once thought about sending them away. Now, I thought about whooping their butts, don't get me wrong, or grounding them.
Yeah.
But to send them away and say, I'll see you in 5 to 6 years when you turn 18, you come home. These parents think when they go pick their child up years later when they turn 18, hi, mommy and daddy, I'm home. It don't work like that because now we hate you. You know, now we hate you for the abuse we got. We hate you for shipping us off, the abandonment feeling. I mean, there's a lot behind it.
Yeah. I don't know. It just sometimes you feel like you become your parents. Sometimes, like, back
Yeah.
in the day, I would listen to the hair metal and all that kind of stuff. And my dad was like, "Oh, what is it? That's noise. Shut that stuff off." You know? And
Yeah.
now that I just turned 53, and sometimes I see some teenager listening to this, what they call music. I'm just like, God, garbage. What is this garbage you're listening to? Then I think to myself, oh my God, have I become my dad?
Yeah, turn down that music. I tell my grandson, I'll be getting in the car with him. Turn down that music. I cannot take it. But I have to go home.
Oh, some of that music today is just god awful. God awful.
Yeah, but some of it's really good because if you listen to a lot of it, the wording, I kind of listen to mellow. Can't do that thumping stuff. But anymore, you hear a lot of trauma. The music, a lot of trauma where where they went through childhood trauma and they tell them their stories and I'm like, man.
Speaking of that, let me ask you a question. Do you think? Because I remember when what is that girl's name? Paris Hilton went to the state capitol or whatever, talking about troubled teen homes and all. Do you actually think she was? I mean, because I know that Paris Hilton kind of fell off the radar for a while. She basically became irrelevant. Nobody cared anymore. Do you think that she was actually going in and saying that she went to a troubled teen home to probably regain some more fame and notoriety?
I went to DC with Paris Hilton, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It just seems so convenient, though, that all of a sudden she pops her head after we've been talking about this. Remember, I started this in 2020. Remember?
Yeah.
And we've been doing shows for years about this, and then all of a sudden she pops her head up, and everybody just rallies behind her. I'm like, okay, it just leaves me in the dirt, or everyone else that's been talking about this.
Everybody else, like us, because it was the road. They want to say she's the grassroots of these legislation. No, she wasn't.
No.
Paris Hilton wrote a letter for us when we passed HB 556 and HB 560. When we asked for help from them breaking co-silence with Paris Hilton, they voted no to help us. We went there on our own. Every one of us was a roll-off survivor that went there and got this legislation started.
But that's what I'm saying. Being that she was a celebrity, you know what I mean? It's like
we rallied at Agape, then they rallied at Bravo. You know what I mean?
And I think that my podcast and some of the other podcasts that have been talking about Rebecca and Agape and Family Foundation and all these other ones, that was the reason why, I think.
Well, they're more WASP. The Paris Hilton's on the WASP side, World Association.
Yeah.
But we're the religious and Simpson side of it. But
Jason.
Yeah.
I knew about the whole Paris Hilton thing before anybody else did. About 30 years ago, I saw it on a message board forum called fornits.com, where a bunch of people already knew that she was in this whole weird, creepy, facility thing, and no one else knew.
Four of them, she was they never kept it a secret. She was in four different places, actually.
Why didn't they do something about it then?
Right.
She came onto the picture with this troubled teen thing after it had already gained momentum with everybody else.
And I feel, and if nobody back then had nothing going, what was really coming out was Amanda Householder and Agape. They were coming out strong.
James Griffey,
Dave Bozer. They were coming out strong, fighting. I joined in, because and that's where it all got the attention, because we had court cases going on. Right. We had real life lawsuits and court cases going on. We wasn't suing over somebody using a hashtag, and stuff like that, like they were doing. We were fighting to get these kids out for real.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not I don't know Paris Hilton. I don't care about Paris Hilton. You know what I mean? I'm sorry that she went through that if she did, but I'm not going to say that she's the one that did this. I'm sorry.
And I'm not either. I'm not either. And
She
a
was
lot of
riding
people,
the wave, and she just happened to have more money than everybody else.
yes, yes. Yeah, and she brought the attention. I will give her credit. She did get the attention that we needed.
Because she had the money.
Yeah, she had
She
the
had the
money to
celebrity,
do
the
that.
fame, and yeah,
Right.
that's why.
Yeah.
But I think we would have done it without her, regardless.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, I do too, because we was already got our laws passed.
It was getting
We
to
got sued for getting our laws passed, because
was-
the suit
yeah.
bad. Yeah,
it was getting to the point where it was getting too big to ignore.
right.
There was so much stuff on the internet about it. It was just getting too big to ignore. Someone had
Right.
to do something.
Yes. And really, if you read it, Stop Institutional Abuse Act, that's only what they're going to study it really for the next few years. I mean, it ain't nothing major. Like people has got it out to me. Is it a step in progress? Yes. Does it help religious exemption homes? Does it help my side? No. All this stuff, they're going to help, the church. No, they're not. Because I talked to the same senators that she did. I was right there with her, going right behind them. What about us? What about us? Many of them walked away. They do not want to involve the church and state. Only way we'll ever win, we're going to have to fight the church and state law again, just like Lester Roloff did. And then we ain't going to win that. We're not going to win.
No.
What people can sit here and tell me and convince me, there ain't nobody ever going to convince me that we'll win church and state.
You would have to change the Constitution, and that takes a lot.
Right. I already fought it for 8 years of my life. I already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, I think we should get something to where these homes should not be allowed under the church's name. See, that's how they get the religious exemption. That's where the religious loophole comes in at. Because, see, the state, they got the mandate reporters. The state's got this, the state's got that. Where the religious loophole under the church and state law, we don't have none of that. The church is in control. And then the church already believes in corporal punishments. They already believe in slavery, torture. So,
Yeah. That is true. Right. Esther, what do you think? What's your opinion on this?
Well, there's a lot of churches around where I live, and I don't have a problem believing this.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's not just the churches. It's the states as well, because you have state homes like, Family Foundation in Hancock, New York.
Yeah, look.
It's a state institution. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes. I mean, I was in state institutions. I was in state institutions and religious. I got to be blessed with it all. If you don't know, Esther, I was a ward of the state. I was in 33 foster homes, 2 group homes, 1 state home, to the mental hospital, to juvenile detention for placement, to Rebecca for 3.5 years, from 11 to 16.
I used to go on the message board forums where the foster parents hang out, and they're pure evil. They hate the kids. They're not even subtle about it. It doesn't even embarrass them. No, they're in it for the check. Very few. They say that the kids have some kind of like a condition called reactive attachment disorder, and that the children are all evil and are going to kill them. Seriously, it sounds like I'm exaggerating or making this all up. It's really easy to find these conversations. They all read a book by an author named Nancy Thomas, who tells them to make the kids sleep in the bathtub. True story. I'm not exaggerating.
Reactive detachment disorder.
Yeah, a lot of them claim that too. And and out of 33 foster homes, I could say a few. Were good. I remember a few good ones. Don't get me wrong. But I remember many evil ones. And you put me somewhere and you're gonna hurt me, you're only gonna get a chance to hurt me one time. I'm running. You ain't gonna hurt me twice. And I already been hurt enough. In my head. I ain't gonna let a complete stranger hurt me, over and over. And that's how I ended up in Geneva. But Geneva, they closed it down in 1978 to build a subdivision, and they found, what was it, 54 bodies. This is 1978. They found 54 bodies. I think 14 or 15 were girls, and the rest were babies or something. And they left the graveyard and built a subdivision around it. The graveyard is still there today, and built this nice subdivision around this graveyard. They didn't uproot the bodies. They let them rest.
Huh.
Wow. And that's 1978. So they knew, what was happening way back then. Wherever there's girls, there's going to be babies.
Yeah, that's true.
No matter how you look at it,
And whenever you have girls, you're going to have perverts as well.
Yes.
Who want to take advantage of them.
Yes, which makes the babies. I mean, and a lot of these were, young girls. A lot of them told them to say, well, they were a disgrace to their family. It was the family that got them pregnant, stupid, or the church that got them. A lot of the church people, or the pastor, or the youth pastor. These children are having children by these type of people. We didn't have boyfriends. We wasn't old enough to have boyfriends yet. I didn't even have consensual sex until after I got out of Rebecca. When I was 17, I never had consensual sex. I didn't get that chance. And many of us didn't. Many of us didn't. Sure, we might have a little girlfriend in 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah.
But that's it. No, so maybe kissy, but we didn't do nothing like that.
Well, I guess it.
Like whores and dope fiends, hippie highs, the turtle cases, nobody wanted.
Yep.
Walking through the ghetto of the valley of death.
Dope fiends, dope dives, and hippie hives and dope. Hippie hives and dope dives. That's what he used to say. Wiley Cameron, hippie hives and dope dives. And then he would always say, "It's gusto time." Talking about the bars,
Right.
So, but hey, do you know if Faye Cameron is still alive? I know she was alive back in the early 2000s.
I haven't heard nothing,
I know she went back to Georgia. She went back to Georgia.
I do know that, but I have never seen no obituary and nothing on none of the groups or other girls. And now they post pictures of Granny and Papa. There's one girl that's really close to him, and this is like her parents.
Yeah,
saved her life, and I wish I could be one of those girls that they could have saved my life, but no, they tore my life up. They ruined my life.
Well,
so Mr. Weatherford is in a wheelchair. Then she's standing up behind him. The candles say 97. Was it 97 or 98? So I'm thinking vampires. They're vampires.
Drinking the blood of the young, right?
Our adrenaline back then, they got his stars stocked up.
What's that stuff called now? Adrenochrome or something?
Adrenochrome. They got our adrenochrome. Got it stocked up.
What do you think, Esther? You believe in vampires?
I'm a vampire.
Ah.
You bring the adrenochrome in?
I didn't see any fangs. That's why I was at, Or is that, or it just comes out at will whenever you want it to?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Right. Are you nocturnal too? Do you stay up all night and sleep all day, like the Motley Crue song says?
Well, I get up in the middle of the night to go to McDonald's.
I'm sorry, that's not Motley Crue. That's Slaughter. Sorry. Up all night, sleep all day. Or is that Kiss? Was that Kiss? Yeah. Want to rock and roll all night, sleep all day. That used to be that used to be it. I'll tell you, there were days when I could go out when I had my band and we'd play till 2 a.m. and I'd go to work at 6 a.m. the next day.
When I had a dog and I had to wake up in the middle of the night to walk him when his kidneys were shutting down. When I lived in the city, I saw some stuff I really, 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 really didn't want to see, where people thought no one was going to walk by.
Uh-huh.
And we don't need to go into any graphic detail, but maybe
you
better
know,
not to go out at 3 a.m.
See, that song is true. The freaks come out at night.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. This is why I don't go out late.
No.
Not anymore. Now I'm going to bed at about 8 o'clock. I have to get up at 3:30 to go to work. It's like, yeah. So I haven't hit that age yet where everything's starting to hurt.
Oh, I'm not past that age.
I know it's coming. I know it's coming, but
As long as you don't have to wear Depends, you're good.
Yeah. I ain't there yet. But might not be long, but I ain't there yet. Dude, I'm 63 now. I mean, I'm getting up there.
Well, you know, Esther, that depends.
Okay, all right.
I know, horrible dad joke, I know. But yeah, I'm not at that age yet, but I don't know. Do I want to live till I'm 90 something? Sure, why not?
If I'm healthy and can move around, I don't want to be bedridden or in a nursing home. Because I don't mean more people in the nursing homes. Shut my door. Don't touch my stuff. Put my stuff back where it goes. You know, there's a place for everything. I can already hear it. I can.
Yeah, Barbara, you would not do well in a nursing home.
No, I can't. My grandson's already tried to talk me into it. He works at the nursing home. Grandma, they got their own apartments there. You'll be okay. What kind of insurance you got? I'm ready for the nursing home.
Right? No, I play once a month at a nursing home around here. I play for an hour for free. You know. I play for free for an hour for them.
Yeah.
Because
well, that's nice.
Well, the thing is, they're paying what, $4,000 or $5,000 a month, you know.
Yeah.
And when I talked to the activities director, she asked me how much I charged, and I said I'm not charging for an hour. You know what I mean? And she goes, "Well, that's good because my budget is only $350 a month." And I'm like, and there's like maybe 80 to 100 people in this nursing home, and I'm like, $350 a month? What could you do with that money?
Right.
Hardly anything.
Yeah.
You know? So I break out the old 50s and 60s music and let them party for an hour, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, all of them are in wheelchairs.
Oh, they're in wheelchairs. Okay.
All of them. Yeah, all of them. It's one of those. It's not the ones where they're walking around. They're all in wheelchairs. So, and it's about 3 minutes from my house. That's why. So
yeah.
Why not? It makes me feel good, you know?
Right. It makes you feel good, I bet.
Something for the, do something for the community, you know?
Right.
And it provides you with a captive audience.
Yes, it does.
They can't escape.
That's what I used to say about us. We were hostages. They would say Lester Roloff in his what do they call that? What the people that go to church? God dang it, his community, whatever. Anyway, when everybody goes to church,
congregation.
Yeah, the congregation. I couldn't think of that word for nothing, Jason. The congregation. Lester Roloff in his congregation. He didn't have no congregation. He had hostages.
Yeah, he had brainwashed. I used to call them Lesterites. You know?
Yeah. That's a good one, Lesterites.
Lesterites or Roloff-ites, one of the two. You got to add the ites at the end.
So. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, because we were hostages. We couldn't go. We didn't have no choice. The workers really didn't have no choice. They had to go. Only ones that really had a choice was you, Jason, the town people. And there really weren't that many town people. Because they said you guys sat in the middle and the back, right?
Yeah, my dad was a Lesterite, so he liked to sit as close as he could.
Right.
He really enjoyed Lester Roloff's sermons.
And a lot of people still do. I mean, people get on there and still like, this is the best, you know. Are you people serious? Are you listening to what this man is really saying?
Yeah. Remember how he used to refer, he was old school. You know what I mean? He referred to the black people as coloreds, like they did back in the 60s, you know, and 50s. you know. So yeah, he was an old school. It's a good thing.
And
That's
if
not
you
around
listen to the
anymore.
Bill Donahue show on YouTube, he says right there, what are we gonna do with them colored babies, some half mixed babies? We can't place them. You know,
Yeah.
nobody wants them. They're no good. I mean, he says it right out of his own mouth.
Yeah. Yep.
They
But
didn't place them babies. They disposed of them type of babies.
there is a difference between the Baptists and the Southern Baptists.
Yep, there is.
Not a big difference, but there's a difference. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
those fire and brimstone preachers. Something
they're
wrong with
stuff.
them.
See, I studied this stuff because I had to figure this out for myself. There's three types of evangelicals: moderatism, fundamentalism, and separatists. Lester Roloff and them are separatists.
Oh yeah.
More of the extreme right wing, extreme GOP. And that's where all that comes in at. You know, like I tell people, the heritage. James Swift made a post yesterday, and I shared it. Like you said, the people that wrote the Heritage Foundation, that wrote Project 2025, are the same people that tortured us. You know, don't get it mixed up. You know, that's where it all started from anyway. Like a lot of people want to start with Jerry Falwell Sr. Jerry Falwell Sr. didn't get in there till like 77 or 78. You know, Lester Roloff, we've already had to Save the Nation rally, you know, save the politicians. You know, we already were on that. You know, Jerry Falwell.
He would tell his congregation who to vote for, and they'd vote for him.
Yeah.
You know, whatever he said went. Yep.
Yeah. And that's true. I even got an article about that, you know, where he told everybody not to vote for Mark White. You know, because Mark White was coming back after him like John Hill. You know.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me that man wasn't a powerful man, because he flipped Texas from Democrat to Republican the first time in 180 years. It was because of Lester Roloff and us. And there's many articles to prove it.
Oh yeah.
You know. And they only won by 18,000 votes. I know they cheated. It was a miscount.
Yeah. What do you think, Esther? You're quiet over there.
Well, I was just thinking about our previous conversations about Starbucks and McDonald's. And what I want to do is just do my own live video where I just eat that stuff all day. And then I can get disability payments for morbid obesity and then just use it to buy more food.
There you go.
Do you think that would be fun?
What do they call them? Mukbangs or something now?
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Mukbang.
Elon Survivor. Do you know the Elon School? Have you had a survivor from the Elon School yet?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, they did their documentaries called The Last Stop with Joe Ritchie. But she came and visited me, and she needed to. She's ill. She got hurt, and she's sick. And she wanted to go to. She was in Ohio and had to go to Reno, Nevada. She's like, "Talk me into go, Jason. Don't leave my house. I ain't going. No, please. Oh no. Finally, okay, I'm in the car. All right, I'm doing this. I'm going." So we go. She said, "I'm gonna stop at Starbucks." I said, "I ain't never had no Starbucks." She said, I said, "I ain't paying no $10 for no coffee that ain't coffee." All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Well, she talked me into it. I'm like, "This ain't coffee. This is a dessert."
Yeah.
You know, it's a dessert. Where do you see it?
It's a milkshake.
Yeah, it's a coffee milkshake or something. It ain't no coffee. It's a dessert. You know. But I have my first one finally. I'm like, nah, I ain't paying no $10. I just can't do it.
Yeah. How do you do it, Esther? You pay for $10 for a coffee.
Well, I have. That's all I eat all day.
It's highway robbery.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, like
you don't have to pay. You can just walk in, say that you're Uber Eats, and walk out with it. They're not going to stop you.
You sound like you've tried that before.
Oh,
I don't know. I just like I told Esther, I just buy the Folgers coffee and have a 12-cup coffee maker and make
me
my
too.
own.
A very little sugar, very little cream, you know, but I don't add all that stuff into it, and I'm there to drink coffee, not to taste sugar and cream.
Yeah, I just drink it black.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't drink the
So, Jason, have you heard of anybody else that's like in a mess like I'm in now with this lawsuit about our names and stuff, social security numbers that they're finding? Do you know that I got charged? I got my Freedom of Information Act. I got my birth certificate, right?
Okay.
I went to court 2016. I filed to get my biological name. Now, I've never used my biological name. The name, even the name under I was sitting on Rebecca, was not my name. UCPS knew this.
Barbara.
So I've never used my biological.
Please don't tell me your name was Gertrude or Hazel or something like
No,
that.
it's Barbara.
Okay.
But last name. Now, my biological name is Foreman, and I went to Rebecca under Landry. But there's been many names in between there that, in some places I don't even remember as a child. So, I went in court in 2021. So it took almost 4 years. I had to get all these names expunged. I had a lawyer. I jumped through all these hoops for them. 2021. Now I got my biological name. Go get my social security card switched over. I'm denied. They said I've had too many names under that social security number. So come to find out, I got 2 social security numbers. So now I got 2 social security numbers. So now I'm working with Social Security office to find out what happened. And it took me a while. And finally I get to this person. And the only thing they can tell me is that if a child gets their social security number changed, is for the welfare of the child, the safety of a child, or the witness protection program. Well, I don't doubt if I was in the witness protection program. But anyway, so safety of the child. So I got a new social security number. So I got this. So they decided to give me the second social security number, the false one, because that's got all my work history, this and that, that's all my history under. So we decided to go on to that one. So now I got an ID, legal ID, and a name changed by a judge. Social Security office gave me the second social security number. I go get my driver's license. And I'm hit with fraud. Barbara Foreman does not exist. I had to prove her. So now they're wanting records from this name to that name. How did I get this name to that name? I got I have a shoebox in there that thick of paperwork, and I'm trying to get all this stuff up. So then we go and we merge. Last year, July 1st, we merged all these names that they say I got, or some I don't remember, into one, to Barbara Foreman. Okay, I get my driver's license. 13 days later, I'm coming from the dollar store, get pulled over, go to jail for fraud. For fraud of my name. Barbara Foreman does not exist. I frauded the Department Secretary of State. So I'm in a court case. My next court case is January. My next thing is January 2026, because I clowned last time. They gave me a year to sell down, I guess. Because
Esther, this sounds like an episode of Law and Order.
Yeah, I mean, this is
don't it? And so now, and I got no school records. So now I got no school records. And you got to remember, I went to Barb Lander and Rebecca, and they didn't have no school records. I got no school records to prove who I am.
Well, even if Rebecca did have school records, they're gone by now.
Yeah,
they're either shredded or burned or something.
So now I got no school records. I got no way to prove who I really am. But even though the judge gave me that name, I guess anybody can get a name. I don't know. But I'm fighting now because I'm a legal case of fraud against the Secretary of State, because I try to get my license under my real biological name.
Right.
Hey, that's just crazy. I know 2 other girls that are going through it. I don't know if you remember, you interviewed one, Cindy Scott from Bethesda.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
Cindy.
I do remember her.
Yes, she went to go get hers. I guess the real ID's catching us up. Same thing. We got 2 names, 2 social security numbers. Same thing as me. Yeah. So she's caught up. I don't know if you know Selena Harris, but she also was at Bethesda, and she went to Bob Jones University.
Is that the black girl that wrote that book?
No, that's Sabrina.
Okay.
She went to Bob Jones University and they had a rally like 2015, 2016. So she had a picture of herself at Bethesda, a young picture of herself she
Right.
was holding. Her biological cousin seen it, called the FBI. She was kidnapped at 11 years old. And the FBI came to her door. They did a DNA. They found out that it really was her. And so she was kidnapped by a pastor and held in a basement for years. And ended up pregnant and sent to Bethesda by the pastor.
Huh.
So she's a traveling nurse, emergency room nurse. So I guess she's got a license. So now all these names and all this stuff is coming back to haunt her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
So
remember Cindy.
I was just wondering, did they change a lot of our names in there? I mean, did they change our names? Did the state change it? I mean, where did all these names coming from?
That's interesting question. I don't know.
Me neither.
Maybe, so
now I even called my aunt. They had me so crazy. I got a living aunt. I mean, I'm crying. Aunt Joan, did you see me in mom's stomach? Did you see me? I mean, did I really come out of my mom's stomach? Because I'm starting to doubt. Did they kidnap me? I mean, what's really going on here? If I can have everybody else's name, I can get married and have some man's name, but I can't have my own name.
Well, you don't necessarily have to take the man's name.
Yeah, but I did 3 times. but but that was okay. But now that I just want my own name, it's a whole battle. It's a whole legal court battle.
Yeah.
I'm about ready to walk in there and tell the judge, I don't care what you give me, just give me a name. Give me a name that satisfies everybody, where I can get my driver's license, get these charges off me, and just go on with my life and die in peace.
Just give me something simple, like Jane Smith.
Yeah,
something like that, something easy. Something like
right.
Jane Doe or something.
Speaking of the Jane Does, have you heard anything about anything? Have you heard anything about anything? Do you know what I'm even talking about? Kinda Jane Does.
No.
Okay. Well, I can't say too much because we're kind of under a gag order.
Well then don't say anything.
Yeah.
Wait till the gag order is lifted, then you can.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if anybody told you anything or not, but you probably put 2 and 2 together in your head. You know what I'm talking about. But
I can pretty much think of what you're talking about.
But hopefully one day, before I die, it's all going to be connected. The dots are going to be connected. That's all I want, Jason. I want these dots connected for people can see the truth, the ugly truth that was there. That was an evil place. I don't care what anybody says. It might have helped you in your ways, and I'm glad if it helped people in their own ways. I'm happy for them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against that, but it destroyed many of us.
It didn't help me at all. I'll tell you that. I wanted to stay out of there.
Yeah, I bet you. I bet you did.
Back in those days, I wasn't thinking about, what was going on with the homes. Okay.
Right.
I was just like, I don't like going to church. I don't like it. It's boring. It sucks. I wanted, I was a preteen, I wanted to go out and have fun with my friends. I didn't want to sit at church and listen to some dry sermon,
Right.
And then scaring the complete living shit out of us by playing us those movies. What was it? Thief in the Night. And what was that other movie? There was 2 of them. It was Distant Thunder. It's a Distant Thunder, Thief in the Night. And then they played us this stuff where they were playing rock and roll records backwards and all this other stuff. I'm like, absolutely scared the bejesus out of us. You know what I mean?
I tried not to sin for a long time. I was so scared of going to hell. I mean, even when I was grown, I didn't go to movies. I didn't want to listen to music. I barely watch TV, you know, because it got embedded in my head so much.
You know what's funny
I was go to hell.
is a couple months ago, actually, that those two movies are on YouTube.
Are they?
And they are, now that I'm, older, they're comical. It's like, oh my God, what's this garbage here? This is complete garbage, Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. But back in those days, though, we were, 9, 10 years
yeah,
old. Yeah, it scared the hell out of us.
yeah, I
And
did.
that was the whole point.
Yeah.
After it was all over, you don't want to go to hell, you better repent. Then everybody, just as I am, without one plea was playing, and everybody was on their knees at the front there next to his pulpit, crying, and
No,
so I remember, though, just that was his song. Have everybody come for repentance, just as I am.
just as I am. Yeah.
Yep. So
And they would come too. They would come, get
that
down
plays,
there crying, and
yeah. So
that's not.
Esther,
What?
we have to research a story about a girl named Friesel. What was her name? Elizabeth Friesel.
Oh my
Ever heard of her?
gosh. Yeah, that's freaky.
Yeah, isn't that freaky?
Yeah.
What happened? I never heard of it.
Elizabeth Friesel was she was, I think this took place in Germany, and her dad kept her mom and her in a dungeon, and I think she fathered Elizabeth fathered like 2 kids from her dad or something like that,
Wow.
and they were in that basement for decades
Mm.
until somehow it got out, and they went to the house and freed her, but her dad's in prison right now for that.
I just watched on the news last week that this guy, the stepmother, had him in the basement in a cage for like 32 years. And finally, in the room, and finally he set it on fire where, it caught the fire department and they got him out. And he weighed like 68 pounds. I mean, he was really malnutrition, and he was 32 years old. And I'm thinking, he had a fire. He was ready to die. He was,
Yeah.
but they saved him.
There
That's
was-
what people don't understand. When you go to that extreme, you're ready to die. I mean, you're calling it, I can't do it no more.
And the thing is, a lot of the stories that roll off in Wiley Cameron too told. I had to look him up. Wiley Cameron did one about this girl named Kathy Festus. I think her last name was Festus, where she fell into a well, and the whole city, went over there and they digging, trying to get her out of there. But when they finally got her out of there, she was dead. I scoured the internet to try and find this story. Couldn't find it.
Yeah. Do you remember Beth, the Amtrak warrior that left to roll off with always the girl with one leg? Beth. Her name was Beth. And you probably look it up. I think it's the Amtrak track or something.
No.
Where she said that her and her boyfriend were on drugs and they fell or something. The boyfriend died. She lost a leg. And for their punishment, if she did something wrong, they would always take her leg, like for her punishment. I ain't kidding. It ain't funny, Jason. I ain't kidding you.
I know
But
Oh, man.
he would take her all around, make these. I had a whole pamphlet made up for her for donations, all this. Fell on the railroad tracks, train chopped off her leg. Come to find out, years later, she had cancer in her leg. Her leg was removed for cancer. And there's a name for that kind of cancer, but I couldn't. I can't think of it now.
Another one where a girl was there who had a patch on her eye, and I believe it was the 4th of July, and they were up on the roof of their house, and she was lighting a firework, and the firework took off and went right into her eye. I don't know if she lost her eye or not, but he was talking about that too. I can't remember what I know the story was. I mean, I heard the story about the firework from somebody else. He told a completely different story, which I'm sure was a lie.
Right.
Yeah,
they exploited and made millions off of us. That's what people don't understand. They made millions because the news footage when he died, and they were talking about who's going to take over, because Wiley wasn't appointed yet. They said it was $50,000 a day to run a roll-off enterprise. People said that ain't a lot of money. Well, it was in the 70s, and $50,000 a day, that adds up. Where was he getting $50,000 a day? I mean, you're talking 1968 to 1982.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
I heard the figure was 5,000 a day, but then again, they lie out their ass.
All right. Well, this is on the news footage, so and I got the news footage somewhere. I saved all that stuff somewhere, but I do got the news footage. It said 50 to 60,000, but they're I imagine we're talking about all 6 homes, at that time.
Yeah, because I when I was there, it was the Rebecca home, Jubilee, City of Refuge, Anchor, Lighthouse. They were all on the farm at that time.
Right.
Because the lighthouse,
they had to move to the farm because he didn't even have permission to have the lighthouse out there, and he started building those sheds and all them little properties on on the beach, whatever.
Oh, the Intercoastal Canal.
Yeah. He had no permission for that, and they came back to sue him, told him that he had to tear all that stuff down.
Yeah.
He just did it on his own, just took it over.
Now, the only home that was not on the farm at that time was the Regeneration Reservation.
Well, what about the one in Georgia with the fruit trees, the old people home, Peaceful Valley?
Peaceful Valley. I'd never heard of it at that time.
Right. And I heard that was the first one they sold as soon as he died. All them old people that were in Peaceful Valley that gave up their homes, their cars, their income, they sold that home and boom, put them right out on the street.
Yep. Probably gave all that money to the church.
Yep. Gave it all to Lester Roloff. Now it's gone, and he's gone, and you at your dying age and you don't have a penny out there, that's horrible. That was horrible. Yeah. And they made them all pick the fruit, all the fruit. You got all these senior citizens out there picking fruit trees.
It's supposed to be the twilight years. It's supposed to be relaxing, enjoying it.
Yeah.
No, in fact, they're working.
That's a myth. I want to tell everybody that's a myth too. Because when you get my age, your body hurts. You don't have time to go out and do nothing. You're broke down and you're poor. You're living off $1,500 to $1,500 a month while you used to make a week, and it's all a myth.
I know. Esther?
Yeah.
Can we do a show on that when you get the time?
About getting old?
No.
Jason, that's depressing.
No.
I don't want to have to wear Depends and have false teeth.
Oh, Esther. I'm talking about Elizabeth Friesel.
Yeah, we can do an episode about that.
Okay.
If you want to scare everybody, it would freak everybody out.
Yeah. Get people on their toes.
This stuff is really still happening. People, I don't know why they think this stuff don't happen no more. I mean, there's a lot of crazy people out here.
Yes, there is. You know that
Jason.
Yeah.
Jason's the crazy person.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Wasn't Jason a horror movie character who went around axing people?
Yes.
Yeah, something like that.
You have no idea the amount of hell that I took with that name when I was in high school.
Yes.
Jason, Friday the 13th. Yeah, I got a lot of hell over that. So, or Jason and the Argonauts. That was another one.
It built character.
It made me who I am today. It made me this chiseled figure. This it gave me a body of a Greek god, chiseled, with the waves crashing behind me while I'm standing on a rock.
Yeah.
A big Triton like that. And then I woke up. So, it was just a dream. But I don't know. I don't know of any horror movies or any type of movies that have Esther in it.
Yes, there is one, and trust me, believe me, I'm not happy about it. There was billboards all over the place that had the tagline. It's called Orphan.
Never heard of it.
Good, and we don't need to continue this.
But
there was the Esther House. The Esther House, I think it was over in
the Esther House.
Yeah, the Esther House.
Roloff's daughter's name is Esther.
Really similar to Rebecca. I mean, it's a real place.
Yep.
And it was really cool.
I remember when they told us to recite the books of the Bible. You remember that? Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges. Esther. Yes, Esther's in it.
Yeah. And people say we had to memorize our verses. Verses, we memorized chapters.
Yeah.
We didn't get no verses. We had to memorize the whole chapter.
Yeah.
And I could do it. And boy, I was one of the few that could do it. And I got to play foosball. Boy, that 1 hour of foosball by myself.
I do remember that. I talked about that last week with the other girls, with Ruby and Dawn.
I tried to get on. I couldn't get on.
Yeah, you had something wrong with your phone or something. Yeah. Kept cutting out. But anyway, I know that me and my brother and one of our friends that were there, we snuck upstairs. It wasn't the side where the Come-and-Dine was, but it was the opposite side that was facing Lester Roloff's home.
Okay.
They had some stairs right there.
Yeah.
We snuck up there. We kind of peeked into the windows. And that's where they had all the foosball tables and all that stuff. That's where the game room was. And I'm like, oh, those lucky girls.
Yeah.
We wanted to play. They wouldn't never let us play. No, the only time we ever went upstairs is when I got that little yellow slip. And it said Licks right across. Like, oh, yeah. They had to go up to Principal Davidson's office. And he had that paddle that had the holes in it.
Yep.
Whack.
And I'll say that. You guys don't remember the holes in it? There were no holes in the paddle. Yes, there was. There were holes in that paddle, wasn't there, Jason?
Yes, there was.
Yes, there was. Tell me there were no holes. Tell me I don't know what I got beat with,
What's nice though is they didn't make us take our pants down and they didn't swat us on our underwear. They just paddled us through our pants. Thank goodness.
Yeah, but we had them little thin polyester skirts. What good did that do?
Yeah. Well, they caught one kid. He was getting licks. He was wearing like 4 or 5 pairs of underwear. That way to cushion the blow.
Yeah.
But yeah. There was another kid. His name was, what was his name? Redhead. He was a redheaded kid, kind of chubby, a chubby redheaded kid with all these freckles all over his face. And we were up for licks. We were sitting down outside the principal's office, and you could just hear just a whack, 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 whack. And then he walks out and he's laughing. Right? And just as he walks out, he takes 2 steps and he's laughing, and you can just see the principal's arm grab him, bring him right back into the office, slam the door, whack, 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 whack. I mean, just as hard. I mean, just at least 10 of them, and you could hear them loud and clear. And he opened up the door. He was crying at that time. He was.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, his last name was Nichols. I know that, but I can't
Oh,
remember.
is it Lori Nichols' brother? Didn't she have a brother, Lori Nichols?
Yes, Lori Nichols. Yes,
Yes.
that was
I'm
him.
still friends with her on Facebook.
The chubby, he was a little chubby, little redheaded kid with
Yeah,
freckles.
yeah.
Yeah.
Her mom was beautician, the beautician. She
Okay.
did Mrs. Yoder and Mrs. Roloff's hair all the time. You know, she's the one that told me that Mrs. Yoder stayed on the farm with Miss Roloff and took care of her until they both passed.
When did she pass?
I don't know.
Oh. I gotta say, I know that Roloff Lester passed before her.
Oh, way before her. Yeah, way before her. The house is so run down. There was a girl that just went to Rebecca and posted some pictures. Comment down, way run down.
Yeah.
You know, the house
It
is so.
is.
And I look at the house now, even when I went there in 2017, I remember looking like this big rock mansion, on the other side of the pit. And now I'm looking at just a little bitty house all overgrown. I'm like, what happened to the big rock mansion? It's nothing like I remembered it. But I've only known a couple people that ever really met Mrs. Roloff, and that's Lacey and Donna. Because
I never met her.
No, I never seen her 3.5 years. Never came to church, didn't come to school. She didn't have nothing to do with nothing. And I didn't realize until I got this some records that Lester Roloff's daughters testified in the Supreme Court case against him. I didn't know that,
Well, good for them.
And my daughter, Linda Roloff, wrote a book. And I can never find this book. I've been looking for it forever. I got the name somewhere.
Well, text me the name. I'll see if I can find it.
Okay.
All right. Well, ladies, we've been on for almost 2 hours.
Well, it's fun talking to you, Jason.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always a lot of fun. Esther, we'll have to get on
Jason.
that. Elizabeth Freitzel, shall I send you a text that we...
Okay.
So we can... And if there's something else you want to talk about as well, Esther, about another true crime.
Okay, you want me to just like...
story. And see if you guys are interested in that. I probably been his mom. I'm friends with his mom, daughter, sister, and
Chris
stuff.
Bennett.
Chris Bennett, yeah, Christopher.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can talk, blah, 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 blah.
She's a talker. She's my true crime expert. So we're gonna have her on.
Well, goodbye, everybody. Nice seeing you.
Ladies.
Good night, Miss Barbara. Good night, Jason.
Good night. We will see you. We'll be in touch. Well, I want to thank everybody for watching. Appreciate Esther and Barbara coming on. And like I said, I'll set up another notice next time I'm having one. These are open lines. You just got to text the number, the name and the subject, and I will send you the link. So I will send out another notice for the next one. So for the Hammer Podcast, I'm Jason. You take care of yourself. You take care of each other. And we'll see you in the next podcast, whenever that will be. Like I said, I will put up an event. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and please comment and let me know how I'm doing. All right? Okay. We'll see you in the next video. Have a great evening.